Hello, welcome to I can't talk, I started. Welcome to the SHA ASM TAS. Finished it off about a week ago and it's done on GameCube through Dolphin emulator. Time of 1:25:19. There will be a few slowed out. You'll hear it in the audio because emulator isn't 100%, so the splits won't be perfect to the time, but close enough. It's all been frame counted. Nothing to really talk about yet. There will be when we get into the run. GameCube frame rate, for anyone who doesn't know, is about 60 FPS. Well, it is 60 FPS. So the time is, of course, timed with without load. No, it's timed with loads. It's stuttering. Yeah, that's a basic introduction to like how it works with console for anyone that might have only watched PC run, not really been involved in console discussion. Besides that, gameplay is basically the same, except there's no real use of other camera angles as there isn't a camera button for those. Other than that, it'll look like a pretty standard run. Except, of course, for all the tasks that I do.
Congratulations, Homer. Mission complete.
Took a fair bit to work on, but this is full game. Yes, this is full game.
It's crashing time.
Yeah, definitely apologies for any of the slowdown. I've been hard at work. I have been. It didn't actually take me that long. Most of it is just like stuff like this doesn't really take very long. It takes really a couple tries. There was probably a week of solid work, and most of that was concentrated into, I'd say, 4 or 5 different things that could take me an hour to 2 hours to do. But besides that, something like this mission, for example, really just didn't take that long. Besides, I think I had to manipulate half pawns after push strat or something. But besides that, it was quite quick to get through some of them. Though some of it was like nightmares. I have Spear with me to discuss anything that I might stupidly overlook or not talk about that people might want to know. So
Anyway,
I've got him
hi.
to help me.
Hello. Can I just start off by saying like how remarkable it is to say that we now have a task for this game? For the longest time, like in this community, like we constantly boast about how hard it is, how hard it would be to make a task for this game, just because of how much
Yeah,
like luck there is in the game, how
not to
like how much
mention the
stuff would
fact
have
that
to be manipulated.
console just like a console this run just won't look as flashy as a task would on 180. I'm not going to just be like dumping all over liquid time because there's limitations with consoles such as ESS. I think this this run might be what, a minute 20 loadless off world record, but if you think about how much just ESS alone saves, then high FPS like this was, I think, half a second off the absolute best I could manage. I once got like a 355 in an earlier revision I ended up losing the file for, and I never recreate that no matter what I did. Like, even with doing everything relatively perfect, retrying, like that line, not gonna take because you get a ridiculous speed boost. When I can go it over and over and work out all the inputs for it, I can. Even then, it's still slower than what you would get from a top runner doing it on 180 just real time. Even myself on 150, I've gone faster, so it's probably the reason no one's dedicated that much into working on it. It's just not PC. And yeah, the RNG manipulation can be absolute hell in this game because you don't really know what everything is. You kind of just have to brute force everything. There's a few times when I manipulate RNG in the run, you'll notice I'll just like my camera will spaz out for a solid 5 seconds, and I'm usually sitting there for 20-25 minutes just moving the right stick around in random ways because I figured that even for a parked car, you can camera minute parked cars. The problem is just you can never do that in real time because you don't know if there's going to be one or not. When I have a safe state, I do know if there's going to be one. I can manipulate that. Drops you can manipulate with. You can manipulate anything with camera, the only reason you can't in real time is you don't know if you're changing it to or from what you want. But it works the same as the despawning cars. Not exactly the same, but you can just manipulate it with camera. That was probably the main one. The first big difference between a normal run and the TAS is this mission. This is one of the ones that took me like an hour and a half to get. I found it out of Homer of Steel. His Homer 1 TAS used this. I have a lot of credit to give him for all of this, as this was going to be a joint task, except we could never get the sync right, so every time we'd send each other the file to work on, it'd be desynced within the first 2 missions, so it was impossible to work on, but my sources for basically every single task strat I did were either what he sent me or variations of that, so I want to give some credit there, as well as everyone that I've taken strat ideas from. But this, I'm quite proud of this. Took me a long time to get.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yeah. The one I got it off actually got it one hit and a lot faster, but some unlucky traffic kind of nudged him out of the way and lost like a second over that. But what happens is he slightly clips in and takes a ridiculous amount of damage. And that clip is really difficult to get because he slows down along your car a lot. But oh, I love that. One of my favorite strats.
Yeah, that was sick. Honestly, going into
was,
this, I was expecting you to do like Badger blasts, ground pounding
Oh,
the traffic card using that.
I would just use Plow King at that point because I used to do Plow King on 60 RTA. That was. This is one of the ones I revised from my first revision of the task because it actually lost 2 seconds here to kicking air, and for some reason I continued it because I was just like annoyed. It was one of the things I changed. This one is about 25 seconds faster because of a few boneheaded routing decisions I made. I was all hyped over the new Marge route, and I completely forgot that it's all ESS and MMW based, which I can't really do either of. The coin situation it's a very interesting coin route made to avoid main menu warping at all costs. I don't think I do a single main menu warp because it's just like so slow on console. Oh, Cass, thank you, Kane. Next strat I do, it's a strat, and it's in this mission coming up. I give everyone the cutscene to think about what I could possibly have done in FBI. Something I didn't know was actually possible until I was like, haha, I should try this, and then got it. I'm like, oh, wait, what? And then I proceeded to realize I did it a little bit unoptimally, so I tried it again for 30 minutes. Whole time. A lot of this is just I did something for 30 minutes and failed, and then eventually got it. Decided.
Oh, homie, you're so
That's how most strat hunting
sexy
in this
when you're
game works.
paranoid.
You miss it
Yeah.
until you don't.
Exactly.
That's how That's how the RTA Plow King Smithers was found.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Originally, it was not
Yeah,
even thought to be possible with Plow King. Then Liquid pulled it off, and it was like really fast.
Yeah, you'll probably notice in a second where this is going.
Oh.
Yeah, you can clip through that on 60 in Family Sedan,
I'm surprised you
and
got
you
so
even get a
cleanly.
freebie there. I had, as I could go over it. That took me, that's like, I think there's like that's like 3 or 4%. Like I easily save, because I save stated after I go like onto the grassy patch, and I still sat there for like 20 minutes just holding my finger on the trigger, just save stating. Just save state. It took a long time, but technically it's possible.
Dang.
Because
Back
the
when I
reason I
ran,
did that is I realized I'm going to be a ridiculous amount of coins down after, I think, part 1 and Marge, because I can't main menu warp. It's like, I don't think there's a single part of this game that is worth really main menu warping on console when I can do BS like that to boost my coins up. I was thinking of doing the same thing for Kalu, but it didn't feel worth it, and I couldn't reliably get it anyway. I couldn't even half flip. After I think it's about the same amount of time, I couldn't half flip. I was like, I don't even know if it's gonna be worth it. I gave up on that idea. My worry was I might still be overcoined, and I don't want that. I mean, the next couple missions is just like optimize gameplay. Just go fast.
Yeah, Homer 1
I mean, this
in
is
general is quite simplistic.
That wasn't part of
yeah.
the
There's not really much you can do to BS. And I get the Wasp on 4 here because we don't have ESS. There's no reason on earth to not grab these.
Oh, that was too easy.
There was a try for like the reverse bush strat, but I didn't find it to actually be fast at all.
Marge Simpson, at your service.
It felt really
Let's
slow.
do this thing.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have to climb over like 1 foot fly. You can kind of tell with the movement. It looks quite robotic because of all the. Because I'm doing like normal driving corrections at 20% speed. So my corrections when you put it back to real time are like 5 times better. Getting these drops to work was interesting. I would usually get a ghost drop like on the 8th or 9th and then have to save state and do it all over again. Because then I remembered, oh, I can save state halfway through. Yeah, I was almost going to climb over that bush we passed, but it didn't feel fast at all.
You almost nicked me.
There's a strat for like doing like Beach Love and Hundo, like with open wheel, and it barely saved time.
Yeah.
We're number one. We're number one.
I don't see it
Luckily,
doing
this
much
still
better in
works.
Cane Arrow.
Yeah, Canyon Arrow is interesting.
Hey, Homer.
Luckily, I didn't find a way to bullshit this mission, so this is just drive. A Hundo, I was gonna say PC, but yes, a Hundo task would be interesting. But no, PC you'd be able to do a lot more. You'd be able to just abuse boosts to get like ridiculous boosts all throughout. But on 60, they just don't really exist.
Or just play on like ultra low FPS and clip through literally everything.
Yeah. I don't know how to
That's
save
true.
time in ASM. I don't know how many places you'd actually want to click in ASM because there's usually checkpoints or drops. I think the benefits of being able to just like get ridiculous boosts on like 400 and somehow still control the game would be incredible.
That's true, yeah.
But yeah, I don't think a shot task is ever going to be as game breaking as like some other 3D games, like with I think it's SM64. The task for that, I think, is one of them has a really broken. Yeah, 1233 on the splits. There's a lot of slowdown from my laptop lagging because when I frame count, it's like a 1201, I think. So yeah, the splits are going to be completely wacky, but it kind of gives a general idea. And you'll notice when they slow down, you hear it in the voice lines. This took me an infuriatingly infuriatingly large amount of time to get that sports car there.
Woo, nice one.
That
Oh,
took me
no.
too long.
Just like I got Charlie and
I
Dan
think I tried to try like 10, 15 times
We
over.
done.
framed so. Now, damn your lightning fast wit.
Time to lay some rubber down.
Wait, did you just finish the level at a bad time, or?
I don't know, I just kept getting unlucky with it. Sounds
Huh.
like I run.
Smell you later, Stinky Gator. The Bartman knows all. Oh yeah, I totally rule. Jump to light speed. Off for Bart.
That was another slowdown. Yeah, Bart, just like his voice go robotic.
Bart Simpson at your service.
I don't think the next time I do some weird shit. I don't think it's long. I know that this mission's pretty plain, and so is Vox, but there's not really much to do in those missions.
Mine, all mine.
Just more driving, really.
Yeah, making sure I get good paths, don't crash into anything, which is you'll never crash into anything.
One buck.
I think that path was one I cared quite a lot about getting decent. I wanted to find a good balance between running to Otto and running back to Moe's. I want to like end up next to Otto and I have to run all the way over. I don't think it would really matter either way. You've got to do the same amount of running.
Children weren't meant to get this much exercise.
Oh, yeah, there is an escape at the end of this that looks really slow, but it's still fast because of how long it takes to load the character after a mission. Because like they don't appear instantaneously on console. It can take like a second or 2 seconds for the next person to talk to even show up.
Classic console load incident.
Indeed.
Yeah.
There are a lot of interesting things with the console loads. I think going through the boat was one of them. Going through the boat, it like deloaded until I hit the rear.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it looks really slow because I couldn't get this to work fast, but I had so much time waiting for comic book guy to spawn in again. I could actually do this.
I fought the law and I won.
It's possible to do it like without going all that way over, but I was never able to make it work. Don't know why. I got out and he wasn't spawned yet, so I was like, it works. It's fast enough. It's like making a cycle. It doesn't really matter how fast you go until then. That wasp took me a while to get the cycle right for without slowing down any more than I had to. I think I like feathered the accelerator a little bit on the way, but nothing really more. Because obviously wasp cycle doesn't work with this because you're save stating and you're playing at 20% speed. There's no function to slow the wasp cycle down.
Yeah, and just pausing it would probably be kind of slow, huh?
Yeah, that'd be really slow. Oh yeah, Barton Flank is quite interesting at the start. There was a strat I wanted to do, which was a walk on air redirect, but it loses time even with a good spawn, unfortunately. It was a really cool strat. I don't think it loses, but it's like breaks even with a dead optimal spawn, which I could never get. The main thing is I had to retry this over and over for good RNG, because if you don't hit the tree, it's just like luck. And then obviously this on 60 is just a nightmare, but nothing impossible. Oh, I hit his tire to steer him away so he didn't get caught on that lamp. That was by design as well.
Whoa, wicked.
Besides that, the coin right here I think is just pretty standard for an ASM run. Except I don't get... I don't make menu walks, so I don't get any freebies in the next mission.
I don't remember these being here before. Whee! All right. That was totally awesome. Hey. Hey. Aw, loser. Woo, nice one.
Yeah, just as we turn there, there's a potential walk on air redirect you can do to end up on the highway, but you need a perfect sports car spawn when you jump back down. Still slow. Unfortunately, I was considering doing it, but it's just not worth it.
Charlie horse, Charlie horse. Now to find a satellite dish. You got it.
This is real fine.
Whoa, wicked.
So how is optimizing this mission? Like doing
This mission was relatively easy, you just take good lines. There's not really much to it except that. I think I made the cycle as early as possible. The beginning was really sloppy because it's cycle based. I didn't really have to worry about any didn't have to worry about micro optimization as long as I made it to the screen as early as possible. I think I did. Can't imagine not.
Move it, land cow.
I don't exactly remember all of it off the top of my head. Maybe I didn't. I mean, it's like really hard on 60 because you don't get any of it. Going down there is usually a big boost. These are small boosts you just don't get.
Yoko coming through.
Yeah, I think I tried a couple times and I couldn't really get faster than that because of the lack of a boost going through the crusty glass. No, not through the crusty glass. Through the where is it? Next to the DMB. No boost there, so you lose like a second. Just so much slower than 180 to play on 60, so kind of pretty much the whole thing was just chasing the FPS loss. That took me a while to get. The reason I turned left there is every single time I got fast escape turning right, a taxi was in my way.
America's bad boy.
Every single time. That took me a while as well. I had to retry. Before I took the turn into the crusty glass, I had a save state, and I was like taking different lines, taking slightly different camera angles to get a sports car coming up. Could not for the life of me get a sports car before, but I couldn't get one after talking to Cletus. Oh yeah, forgot about this, Dr. Nick Bush. It's pretty fast. Really cool too. It's so hard to get. He jumps out of the way like 99% of the time. You just have to hope you go to one side of him and hopes he dives into you.
Bart Simpson.
And the odds are minuscule because he's not that much of an idiot. Also, Mr. Plow spawns next to Homer. Never understood that. On PC, it's in like the middle of the car park.
So let's go, Sports Car 2.6.
Let's go. Sports Car 2.6 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Besides that, it was just optimizing turns.
Imagine dealing with Mr. Plow on console is just really annoying.
It's not that bad, it's just slow.
Yeah.
I got that because it felt fast. That took me a while too because I had to do like a 3-frame break first or something. It actually like would adjust it just so much. That traffic drove me insane for a solid 20 minutes too, and I considered that then to be a little bit slow because I could keep my speed up here instead. Besides, that's pretty normal monkeys.
Yeah, just skip to the main menu warp and ignore the loss like you did in MMW.
Yeah. The main menu warping on console, like I said before, loses like 10 seconds, it's ridiculous. One of the reasons I saved so much is I did like one main menu warp in part 1, one main menu warp in March, and I knocked off like 25 seconds without, I didn't make a lot of other optimizations. There were definitely some made, but not a lot. I fixed up the coin run, did a couple of other things, because I didn't expect to be able to release it when I did. Now that I think about it, Frosty Lou in a car, if I had got that to work, would have been so funny with like the limo. Because technically you can get a fast sellouts in limos. I could have done that in limo, but Frosty Lou didn't work. I wish it would. The sellouts was really good.
This is gonna be something.
It will be.
Oh man, that sucks and blows.
That could have been better, but I found it did. Yeah, I didn't lose any time. Because it was still a 2-hit regardless.
Yeah.
That's a big boy hit.
And the way he pushed him kind of boosted him down the tunnel anyway. So
Yeah.
it ended up helping out.
It felt very fast.
For sure, yeah.
This took me longer than you would expect to get that. I put a lot of time into that. Because he kept going like a pixel away from it. was gonna try to make that a 2-hit, but it felt really fast anyway. That hit wouldn't work like in like 90% of scenarios. Besides that, overall, it was a very good sellout. 51.
Wow.
The old one was 450, 440, 46. I could not improve it. And then I was doing runs and on my own time, and I figured out what I was doing wrong in sellouts. So I was like, wait, that's also applicable to my task that has time saved. So that was another thing. I found out how to go back and fix up. Loadless, I believe this was like a 30, no, not a 30, a 2308. And because of the Wiggums clip, I think my home one was like an 1114 loadless. So that was a really, really fast bar one. There was a strat I was going to do in this mission that took me 5 hours the first time, but it saves like half a second. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. Probably the other reason it's so much slower loadless is like stuff like this, route adjustments to make it faster with actual console timing. Even if it would be a bit slower with loads removed. I don't know how precise it is because I was going off the actual GameCube loads. I don't have to retime all my loads because it doesn't matter, it's timed RTA anyway. It was kind of just for me and other people to really compare how it was compared to a PC run, more so than to qualify it.
The car is now near mint.
Yeah, the slowdown is ridiculous at times.
Engage cloaking device.
Dang, fast cycle on console.
Indeed. That's what happens if you can get just do everything perfectly.
Sailors, I must get this comic into
I think I got that turnaround like first time. It's
Heaven forbid. Warp speed.
gets I don't think it does get fast cycle on the way back because of the no, it doesn't because you don't get any boosts coming up here, so I had to slow down for this one. Yeah, the strat I was going to do was a strat where you steer left here, boost off like the ramp after the phone booth and climb up that wall and reset, but it just doesn't work half the time. Not half the time, like 1,000 times out of 1,001 it won't work. And it got me like a real like frame before 53 on the timer, and that was like 2/10 more. And I'm like, I'm not going to do all that again. It also took me a while to not get the not have the car lock up there. Does that all the time. It'll just like start braking, and I'm just like, no, please don't. I figured Malibu wasn't worth the like small load time in the phone booth and the run over. Because you can't do the camera skip walk because it's timed with load, so it's just not worth it. I think I do single box hit and run. Oh. Her voice lines slowed down are just hell. And I chose against waiting here to get one of the boxes. I'll just move on. Okay, it would have been in part 2 where the boat was weird because it didn't have
I totally didn't look at your coin count just now and forget that you have cool already. It's like, how the heck do you have 738 right now? What happened? It's like, oh, right.
Where did all my coins go? I also thought, where did all my coins go later in the run? Because they all vanish. It was a buffer against the main menu warp losses. Because in Marge, it's ridiculous. It was like 3 loss. So it puts you down to like a really bad point route that it's not worth doing anything else. I got some slow coins, but overall it balanced out. I think I lost like 10 seconds having to get slow coins, but I'd also saved 20 by not having to deal with the main menu war. I did try to do this mission by driving to observatory the whole way and just not stratting it, but the most I could get was like 11 drops. Maybe if I could have despawned poles, it would have been fine, but I couldn't despawn poles.
That was pretty cool. But Bart's still missing, and I'm no closer.
Yes, it is pretty cool. Thank you, Lisa. Even Lisa realizes how basic this is. I hope his controller doesn't disconnect, Kappa. Oh no. Axie would say something like that.
And you just run out of the observatory to take the interior load as opposed to the warp load.
Yeah. The warping is just like 4, 5, I think it's 5 or 6 seconds.
I hope I can buff that out.
It was probably my most unwise choice to skip Camp Krusty. Because it's like fast, it really would have like been a good idea, but I didn't. So.
The time for
Yeah, it would have been pretty fast to get mute.
Yeah, Camp Krusty is pretty quick, but what can you do? I
I guess
realized
a
that
toggle.
Marge
let's just
said
do
it was a good idea, and I'm like, I am not going through the RNG minute for sleuthing a really good hellfish, going through other things that I won't mention because I want to wait to show them off. Things in the run, I was like, I'm not doing all of that again. I'm not doing like 6 hours of work to fix up 5 seconds of coins. I'm not doing half my TAS over again. I will probably improve it someday, but I just don't want to. Right? Would rather make some other one. I want to do an alt. I want to do a hundo task, but I just don't think I have it in me to route hundo on console.
That would just be wow.
It would be hell, but there's so many cool things you could do with jump zones. But you could do that in all tasks.
NMW as well.
Yeah, it would be the amount of jump zones that you could do in MW. I don't like NMW, so I don't think I'm gonna dedicate myself to an NMW task.
Like, yeah, if you're doing
Yes,
NMW, like at that point you're just doing ASM again, right?
yeah, I just passionately hate NMW as a category.
now. That was efficient.
People will not like me for that, but it's just how I feel.
It's empty.
I get it here. I don't remember if I get it here. I don't. There's sometimes a random pan and skip that can happen that I don't know why it didn't happen there, because it should happen when you don't move after mission complete, but just decided not to happen for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, I might well be missing something knowledge-wise and not actually know what I'm doing, so I'm not going to keep pursuing something that I don't know is possible. So I'd gotten it in a different part of the pier, but that was because I've got like a slow third car relative. We were caught up there as well, but I was like, Snake is still near me and the rubber banding couldn't be anywhere. You'll see an example of my famous RNG manipulation for third drop. You'll see how I manipulate the drops.
Oh boy.
Oh, did I just look back? Oh, yeah, looking back actually worked really well there. Never mind. I thought I spazzed out a lot, but in an earlier revision, I think I was like, I cycled through. I was like, look up, look back, look up, look back, look left, right, left, right, left, right, as fast as I could on the joystick, and that's when I stopped working for another one. For some reason there, none of it worked, but looking back was like fine. I tried out combinations for like half an hour, and every single one of them except that landed me over the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
How much pain was it to test this, Axie says? A lot.
This
A
is
lot.
Char, Axie. What do you
That
expect?
sleuthing took me half an hour. That wasn't a random panic skip. I got that from the
Hello,
phone booth.
Springfield.
Fishy Deals was pretty normal. Like, the 47 was, I think 47 was pretty cool.
Happy home. Have a good life.
I figured Lighthouse wasn't worth trying because of how out the cycle was.
I've gotta go.
Look out!
Hey.
Which maybe in hindsight was a bad decision.
You'll never be fried in the
Yeah, it's only really like a maybe a second to wait out the cycle on, since it's trying to go from up to down.
Yeah. I think the other side of Lighthouse Cycle is really bad though, so I think I would have had to wait the entire cycle, so 2.5 seconds, which would still have been faster. If only we could go back to how old it is. It's probably something I'll look at if I ever do another revision of this, but I am absolutely done with passing ASM right now.
That's fair.
There's a lot of BS in the run that you have to kind of deal with, and a lot of really, really hard strats. I hope to be able to collab on it again once if I ever figure out the loads, not the loads, the sync.
Savor your freedom, my cold-blooded friends.
Because when I sent my completed Homer 1 task to Bacon to watch, I just messed around in the settings, walked around in circles, and then ended for like 11 minutes. Oh yeah, now this. Oh, this was pain. This was pain.
Oh.
I feel anxious looking at this because of how much suffering I dealt with to do this. You think Mr. Plow phone booth limo is hard? Fun fact, I lost an actual run today because of this, because I was tilting my car too far right. I gained muscle memory from how many times I had to do that. I have lost a run. I've lost time in a run today because I missed it. This was actually easier than you would think. This took me like 2 minutes. Road jump isn't that hard on 60. It's just not consistent enough to the max. That just swears it's consistent on 60 if you feather accelerate, but that's just like not true. He swears that it's like 80% consistent if you feather accelerate. I don't believe it.
I'm on 120 and I find it really inconsistent, so
I'm on 150 and I hate boat jump with a burning passion. I swear I hit the dead center and just don't get it, so I'm like 150. But anyway, getting on 60 was a task, but it was easier than I expected. I could have just got lucky. The strat, though, on the other hand, sent me insane, and I still have muscle memory. I turned too far doing Plow King Limo because of that.
I hope this car doesn't stink too bad.
to be fair, I guess with boat jump you just have to like not get. You just have to get an attempt where you don't clip through the post, and it'll probably
Oh no,
work.
half of them clip through, the other half don't get high, and that one was lucky because it hit the boat at the peak of its apex, pushing it up further, tilting it on its axis. On another revision, though, I did get it normally in just the standard, you just fly up and hit the thing quite quickly as well, so...
Where to next, video game?
In other news, wonky driving Canyonero.
I didn't even realize it was wonky. It's harder to pick up on that, on like the inertia differences when you're playing at 30-40% speed. There was wonky driving at another point that I didn't actually know I got until I rewatched it, because it didn't feel different at like super slow-mo.
Sensible shoe to the metal. I hope they're all right. Boy, more in charge.
There was a strat I had really wanted to do in Wolves with Malibu, but it's just not worth having to main menu warp. It saved like 5 seconds, I think. Because there's like you can get roof jumps though in Malibu. And it's like really fast, but it's not fast enough to justify the main menu warp.
I'll do my best.
So I only really found myself losing 4 seconds to the route I did. Losing it relatively to the like optimal PC route. When I did that, I completely forgot that the inmate thing screws up the wasp, even if you only get one. Which is why we actually do like the newer route with the 2 wasps, but it just wasn't worth it because I was like, I may as well get another freebie and then get the other one in Polar Wars, getting myself an extra wasp, even if it is a little bit slow. It's right. Now while I'm watching it back, I can definitely see this is wonky. I also wouldn't even know where to begin on manipulating wonky. I wouldn't know how far back I have to go to mess with my inputs and try to just change the game's state. I don't know if it even would work.
I think wonky came there at the beginning of March here. It's just a console thing. I think you can manip.
Yeah, that would make sense. When I was doing this, it made me realize why New Marge sucks with coins so badly. No one can really figure out why. Just not only do we skip one of the wasps, we also don't do that. That's like 20.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an insightful experience for my own runs as well. And made me realize a little bit about RTA. This is specifically a GameCube thing every time you walk from Lisa to Marge specifically as well. Fair enough.
Huh.
The more you know. Unavoidable canyon arrow one. You love it.
Love to see it.
Well, clearly it didn't affect me too much.
Fire and Redneck aren't really the worst places to get wonky driving because like, you can still get the drops with wonky driving, and the other mission's a follow mission. So
Donut Truck is just paper mache. It's so weak. I'm surprised we can't do a strat Malibu.
I think Malibu's like a really light car, but granted, can do limo.
Yeah, Donut Truck.
Hey, I know another dumpster's round here somewheres. I can feel it in my stank bone.
It's always really weird watching this back. Yeah, it's always really weird watching this back at full speed because of how close I come to some of the cars back then.
I wish I had some really big tires like I saw on the TV once.
This
Feels
one was
less
definitely
comfortable grazing the edges of cars.
Even though you know it's a TAS, you know, if you saw an actual runner do that, it would just cry.
That'd be better than the movie box. Help me, Lord! Oh, I'm gonna have to sell my smell house to pay for that. Send the bill to Homer. Whatever just happened was none of my
This did not take me as long as I thought it would.
You got the boost! Pog!
The boost works like as consistently on 60 as it does on like 150. I got that faster than I would do it in an RTA run. The hard part was just maintaining as much speed as I possibly could because I didn't want to break too much before it's a task. I want to go as fast as I possibly can. This took me a while. You have no idea how many times I've waited there. It is next to impossible.
Yeah, I saw you streaming when you were doing that part of the mission, and getting the little boost that like coming out of the little barnyard. That seemed quite annoying.
It was hard. It takes so long. That's another place where just get a random camera pan in. It's 4-4. I just stood there and got a camera pan in. Yeah. This wasn't too bad to do either.
That might have just been emulator like, but it almost looked like he like slowed down to like inch up the bush.
That would be the emulator slowing down because I remember I had to go full speed there.
I figured.
That warp's pretty cool as well. Go a little bit in front of the door and Grandpa's in the way, so instead of just like pushing Grandpa out of the way, you just walk in the car. Game is really easy to manage to walk into. All you have to do is slightly obstruct their view and then just teleport. Probably the worst oversight is just not doing that again for that loss, but you know. Definitely still improvements to make. I think this can. I think I can. I think a sub 120 pass will happen. So even without the time saves found, I think there's enough cleanup work to do and just trying new things. If I say put a day into every mission, it would take me like 5 months to do because of how rare I get to do it. But it would be incredible. I don't want to do that, obviously. Passing for 5 months straight would drive me insane. So obviously, I wanted to leave. I would usually do these in the 45 minutes to an hour after whatever RTA run I was doing, guys, or like I'm doing an ASM run and die. And I was like, oh, I have time to do another one. Let's tap and get through a mission or two. Yeah, even I get just anxious watching how close I come to some of the cars.
I'm getting a little nervous with the meter. Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, hit and run isn't really a problem.
Anything, you could probably manipulate the cops into getting like coins for you or something.
Not really. You can just drive in a way that doesn't hit them. That cop caused me a lot of problems. That felt like it gave me a little bit of a speed boost, so I kept it in.
I'm kind of surprised you kept King and Arrow for the whole thing, and switching to like Malibu at some point.
Main menu walking is
Oh,
just loses
right.
so much time. I can't say for certain if it was worth it or not. It is significantly slower, but it was kind of I'm gonna lose a lot of time either way. Which one loses me less time? I made the judgment call that it was that, but I honestly couldn't tell you. I very well have been wrong and lost a couple of seconds here, but I didn't think it was worth it to fix up. Because obviously I genuinely felt it was faster. I can't say that for 100% sure, but I wasn't going to go out and spend all this time on an idea that I don't believe in. I don't believe in the main menu walk on console. Notice I haven't done one. I haven't done one yet, and I don't. I don't even full on walk at all.
It's me with a banjo. No, I never reasoned with a raccoon, let alone a
Yeah,
Nazi one.
either way, like
So
main menu or full one up, it's just you're just giving an extra load.
where was I?
So,
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the first
a lot of
time I
time
broke
lost
the
either
Like,
way.
it really does
Okay,
come down to
okay.
what I
It
use
was
for
so
loads.
long
I
ago
very
that I'll
well
have to
could
describe
have
it
done
in
a PC
sepia
route
tone.
and just timed this load
Well,
list
as I
because
recall, it was sort of a
it's a
cosmic kind
task.
of
I
thing.
can
Shaped
frame
kind of
count
like a
my
crank
loads.
with
I
an
don't.
old-fashioned radio
The
antenna
reason
coming
we
off it.
put RTA, the lack of load removal, isn't an obstacle for me. I can just load remove, but I thought that'd be a bit cheap. So I was like, I'm going to time this RTA, which is why I don't call it a 120 pass. I call it a 125 pass because that's what it is. It's a 125 on console, not a 120. I thought it was best to follow current rules and traditions because there isn't really a precedent for passes. I think loadless though it's like a 47 March. It's quite fast for lack of ESS. I counted through all the ESSs and I think it's minimum 45 seconds lost. Like at this point. No, it wouldn't be 45. That would be over the whole run.
My understanding
Hidden
the
by
ESS saves
faster.
like maybe 20 or 30 over the course of a whole run.
I mean, I was just
Please.
counting up. I just counted up the camera pan in clips from the because I would have been able to do a first frame ESS every single time in a pack.
Okay.
So I just went off the sheet and I assumed that to be accurate with the time save. I could be wrong, but
I guess the 20-30 second figure is more so just accounting for like not getting a frame one ESS.
yeah. Because you have to adjust your loads. I'm quite good at getting like first couple frames ESS. But that was when I was on my old setup when my loads were really consistent. Now my loads go to like twice as fast when I'm in a Discord call for some reason. Like I hopped in Bronze VC earlier and my loads like cut in half. It makes no sense.
Meanwhile, my loads are like quadruple what the rest of the community is.
Oh god.
This will look great on our mantelpiece. Yes! Having 3 kids really slows you down.
Yeah, this isn't really bad. Like having a look at the split time was like a 153 split. That's with loads and without ESS. This show really does optimize everything.
I'll do.
I actually tried walking out here before I remembered that your Kenyan arrow is still sitting back in the Simpsons house.
Ooh. Okay, Marge, stick to the plan.
Walking out would, even if it did work, it would make hitting the first truck a little harder. Just because
Yeah.
it's a little further forward at that point.
Get you, you evil cola bottlers and distributors.
Doesn't the truck start moving when you get in the car?
Yeah, but like when you restart, the car goes backwards and then forwards a little bit. That's
Oh,
why you
yeah,
pause.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why you
Forgot
pause
about
on
that.
pause to start flowers.
That's right, I forgot about that.
When you do it so many times, you forget about it. But yeah,
Yeah. There's Flanders going crazy in the chat.
oh boy.
I don't know what that's meant to be.
Wi-Fi diddles on Windows XP. All right.
Well, that's a thing, I guess.
Yeah.
The specification on Windows XP. I really like what I did with the third car here. It took me ages, but it was quite nice. Oh, we got another one. Let's go.
Oh boy.
Wi-Fi diddles on Windows XP taking over. I should collect my bonus for it. Go. I'm gonna have so many donuts after this.
I'm very good at this.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
really fast. Getting a 2-hit.
That was a nasty hit. Jeez.
It's fast when you go directly into the tree, he just dies. You
It's like
never
an
realized that there were TAS runs of Shah. There's not TAS runs of Shah, there's TAS run of Shah. And there only has been. There are technically. Homer of Steel has a. Didn't someone do a TAS where it was set to kill without hit and run?
I'll put these here.
I swear that
Um,
exists.
not sure.
Yeah, this is the first full game run of TAS, and the first one to be created that goes past hard. I think Homer of Steel gave up on his in 2.4. Don't actually remember why. He sent me a resource list of a lot of really cool strats, 2 of which I completely didn't do because they sucked. One of them was Malibu only, and one of them was that half a second time save that would take me like 5 hours. Passing this game optimally is hard. It really is. Like,
You got that right. Playing
that's
this
why
game
this isn't
optimally is
sub
hard.
120. I actually do think there's 20 seconds to find somewhere in here. Like, I genuinely have hope in sub 130. Sub 120, sorry. Not
Yeah, I would hope
RTA,
this could
but
have been sub 130.
it's already released. Look at the title for it. I didn't even think it was possible due to RNG with vehicle AI. The good thing is that even with an emulator, because everything's deterministic, you can control RNG very precisely. Like, the reason this run has good RNG is because I retried every RNG opportunity over and over until I got perfect RNG. The only potential issue with it, like a PC TAS would run into the issues of anything that interacts with the game that's Windows related. Like the wasp cycle if you were a PC TAS would basically be different every single time unless your tassing tools or were like save state tools built in. It would like keep the state of the game correct. You don't have to worry about that with this. Got the hardest strat in the game right there. That was very impressive. I applaud myself.
Let's go. We got army skip.
Let's go. They my split still say like army skip hard strat or something. I thought he was going to buy army. No, you didn't, shut up. I should do an army percent test. Get army as fast as possible.
Oh, I feel like a Brahmin. I must admit, this smell of fresh air is much
Are there
more
any
pleasing
pass-only
than the
tricks
odor of
involved
a
in the
bucket.
run?
This is just
Nothing.
between me and you.
There's nothing
Random
absolutely pass-only. There are things that would be too inconsistent to try in an RTA run, but they all have been done in RTA. There's nothing in this run that a human could not do if they'd loaded up save states and gave it 15 to 20 minutes.
Clean up in aisle 1.
However, they are completely unviable RTA, like phone booth. Malibu phone booth 3.2. 3.7, sorry. It's just like not on. Not happening in an actual run, not on 60.
Oh, I smashed my skull.
A lot of stuff you'll see in this TAS is just like strats that people playing on an actual console would be too scared to do, just because
Yeah.
if you mess a lot of this stuff up, it can lose a lot of time if you're not careful.
Yeah. And stuff that just isn't going to be worth it. It's never going to be worth it to go for Malibu boat. It's only going to be worth it to go for boat jump because you're never going to get first try boat jump. And if you miss it, run dead. So unless you want to get 70 runs to Lisa, then maybe. And then look at that, you've saved what, maybe 8 seconds if it lets you like skip monorail or skip Halo. You've saved like 12 seconds. Wait, no, phone booth limo leaves. Doesn't lose any time to get the coins. Right, you save 20 seconds. Wow.
Such behavior.
It's only taking you 3 months to get a single run out of early game, and guess what? You're going to get shot in 5-3 anyway. So no one's going to do it, but it's all stuff that any human could IL. I'm not good enough of a tasser to find ridiculous game-breaking clips and everything. Oh yeah, all this that's one of the camera things I think when I was like looking up there. That was to manipulate that drop.
All the camera spazzing there.
I was not having a stroke. I swear, officer, I wasn't having a stroke. I was manipulating traffic RNG. What do you
No,
mean? You're
officer,
dumb?
I
What
was
do you-
in drinking.
I was manipulating RNG.
Uh,
I sped through the school zone to get the cycle.
Clean up in aisle 1.
Get the McDonald's drive-through cycle where they would at the time where there's no customers. This was really messy. It was from kind of here where my coins were just completely munted, and I had to save them by doing stuff like that. That took me so fucking long. That wasp just doesn't die. And this, somehow, I managed to get all those like 7 coins without actually losing time.
and all you needed was early courthouse.
Yep. Early courthouse isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Ideally, I would have wanted to skip construct and box here and get it in Bandit. So, well, I don't actually know, but I assume Bandit has better acceleration than Longhorn.
Last time I left this store, hoodlums put pornography in the
I
black
hope so now that I think about it.
I am a lean, mean, vindaloo machine.
Oh no, he had tilted baby van. Oh wait, it just worked anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
What in the hell were you thinking?
Yeah, tilted baby van was really hard not to get. This is why someone earlier was talking about how you can't get wonky baby van or tilted baby van. I'm like, on console, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you can't get it on console. I would never know someone to get it on console. I was like a frame perfect Ben.
Yeah, wow.
I got that like second try. Yeah, I got really lucky doing it there.
I must admit, the smell of fresh air is much
This
more
mission was
pleasing
really
than the
interesting
odor
to
of a
test.
machine.
It's
Oh
just
boy.
incredibly optimal movement. You'll see.
I have ruined my pants for this. What in the
This
hell were
might
you
be
thinking?
a proper example of something that's potentially just straight up TAS only, as even compared to like just
There's nothing
difficult
in this.
beyond
There's nothing in
viability.
this mission that's pass only. There is a combination of things that I don't know if a human would be physically able to do without a lot of effort, but it's individual things. Like everything here has been done in runs. It's just that you wouldn't do it with a route like this. Mostly like this part that I don't think most people would go for and really be able to get. Just because you would need really, really, really good pickups and good leg lock. Yeah, the only thing that's really messed up here is getting Wiggum push and both sit and rotates. Like, you just need really good wasp pickups, but it's not ridiculous, it's just really difficult to do altogether. But besides that, it really just is Wiggum push with both ends. I also got the card there because why not? I thought it would be funny and it lost me no time. That was just for swag, that was 100% for swag.
What? No! They put this here. It makes no sense. Thank you all for coming. I'll see you in hell.
Oh god, that voice line was so cursed with that slowdown.
Hopefully my store will not be robbed more than 4 times while I am driving around today. Your misfortune is most entertaining to me.
This mission just like was a nightmare to do.
Because of the garbage truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
garbage truck is a dick. The like the manipulation here just like hates you on 60. Like I can do that RTA better on high FPS than I can. It took me so many times. Like I can literally just do this in a run. One. Here was pretty cool. I quite liked how smooth this was. Kind of steering him to the left and then back to the right. I was his steering wheel in this. Did it again there.
Oh, how unproductive.
What, say like I think 5 seconds or so? Getting a 320 drop is a really hard bit, you know. I think it's possible. Definitely not like completely not doable. It's like I don't think there's nothing really TAS only, but there are definitely things that are like liquid tier in this run. Like they're not really doable by a human unless you're liquid, and then maybe, but anyone else. No.
Anyone else would be a lunatic for
Oh,
going
there's
for
definitely
all this stuff, right?
probably like Kelvin or better. Probably top 3, top 4. Definitely, but besides that, you'd have to be one of the top runners, one of the top runners of this game.
The giant cutlass is slowing me down.
This annoyed me because I don't actually know where I would even start on controlling that one. Maybe it's the one. Yeah, definitely see there's a bit of rerouting and more knowledge of how to control everything with sub 120.
Surprisingly acrobatic.
This task more exists as like a proof of concept.
Yeah. And mostly just because it is still it's not great for a task, but it works. It's not bad. I wouldn't say. Even then, it's like, yeah,
Jiminy cricket.
wasn't really meant to be perfect. I'm happy with it.
Hope I have room in my pants for this.
I definitely would have liked to get a path with Haley because it would have opened up a lot of possibilities. I would have saved a lot of time here. In late game. The opportunities for a limo out of bounds would have been good. Limo out of bounds would be worth it if you got that close.
Yeah, that clip, pretty much in and of itself, kind of solves the issue of limo being too hard to get the coins for.
Yeah. Because it like breaks even, I think.
I think I would more so go from like losing 5 to saving 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So brick skip.
I did something here which loses like half a second, but it was funny, so. Reverse.
Reverse brick skip.
It wasn't fun. It wasn't like fast, but I know everyone loves brick game. So I thought I'd give the fans what they want. There were definitely minor time losses due to swag. I've always loved the soundtrack for this mission. I have it downloaded on YouTube.
I have the music for this mission as like an alarm.
That's bass. Oh yeah, this is gonna look a little bit different.
Ooh.
And this is why Apu on 60 is so fast. There's actually nothing special with that. If you get him there and push him there, he'll always blow himself up. Like, I think Greeny found it and said it's like 100% RTA viable. It's like barely harder than normal armored truck, and it'll work every single time. If you get the push, he'll always blow himself up. And this is why I wanted to skip construction box, but I didn't really find any chances to get the coins for it.
That's just been
He's getting
known
that.
for
Continue.
like the armored truck strike guy is like it's been known for quite a while. It's just
Yeah.
it's just hard to get like an hour into the run, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I would say the same about armored truck, but that's me poking because I'm bad at armored truck lately. That's a really general opinion. Most people say armored truck, so you know, being trying to agree with them.
Yeah, this strat's like one of the things that made low FPS like NG plus like something to consider. Like even aside from like the truck damaging himself so much faster on like with the normal strat.
Yeah, this is the other time I got wonky.
Oh.
This was one of the things I had to unfortunately accept I was going to have to do if I wanted to get rid of all my main menu walks, so was that last one for it.
This coin has been nothing if not scuffed, I can't lie.
It's absolutely because of load times. Like, if I had chose to time it loadless, it would have been a much faster run. Because I could have just done new Marge. I could have done the new Marge route. I think it was without loads, it was like a 1540 Marge, 1440 Marge, which 1450, I think it's 1450. Really fast for no load, for no ESS. And old Marge route. I think the Apu was like 1330, which was surprisingly bad for getting Wiggum push and super fast armored truck. I think I ended up getting Lighthouse here as well, but those are the slow coins, and for how much time they saved me, I felt like I came out about 5 to 6 seconds ahead of more traditional coin route. So it's like I took a couple of really stupid like losses to save time in places you wouldn't think of, and I felt like it balanced out a little bit. Or getting bought there and not quitting was I didn't go out of my way to get bought. So it was not a bad thing. I don't actually know what's faster, but this felt like a faster way to pick up Lighthouse. Probably because taking a while to line, but you know, that's like a couple of fractions of seconds, which I wasn't optimizing to at that point. The other good thing about tassing is you can get coins that like they just scatter around really quickly. Like I was just able to brush all of this because the back of my car and not take any slowdown at all. Like 11 coins.
No worries. Whoa,
Bridge wasp optimal. Is that Lighthouse wasp?
Yeah, Krish Wasp is Lighthouse Wasp, yeah.
Do I want to know? Surely there's history there.
He struggles with it.
Bart Simpson at your service.
Not having enough coins or like missing?
There's a clip of him like getting out to get like missing the wasp as a freebie, getting out to get it, and I think ultimately failing the mission because of it.
Oh god. Oh, but Bart 2 was like great. I loved part 2.
All for Bart.
It was probably my favorite level. Not my favorite level with TAS. That was the one I was happiest with, but it was horrible to do. The cool strats are great once you've done them and you're watching it back.
6-2 Kalu, like, strictly in third person. That's impressive, I
rough.
can't lie.
It took me a lot of goes. Homer 2 is messed up. Homer 2 is completely munted because you can't use third person. Can't use first person.
Oh, right.
I will not specify anything more than that because I'm not going to tell you what my Homer 2 route was in part 2. Kind of kills all the suspense from it. Yeah, I absolutely loved passing this level. It turned out really great. I'm really happy with how it was.
Whoa.
I didn't actually intend for that. I just got that first go around. I was like, well, that worked. Take that anyway.
Yeah. Got a cheeky little boost and didn't, like, completely mess up your driving, so. Hey, we take
If I have a
those.
digital revision, I would probably go out of my way to get, like, the log split and just, like, boost all the way up here. It could probably happen. You could probably get that by design, just land all the way on the pier. But no, I was not putting myself through that.
You're all mine.
I do have some standards of self-abuse, and log clip to the pier is not. It's not something I'm willing to put myself through.
Ow, my skull. My beautiful skull.
Is it weird that I want to be able to play on PC with GameCube hover car refraction?
Isn't there a mod for that?
There is a mod for hover car refraction, but it's based on the Xbox version.
Ah,
Totally awesome.
yeah, the hover car does look really nice on GameCube.
Yeah.
Ow, my coccyx. I remember these being here before. Whoa, wicked.
Nothing much to talk about here, just
Yeah.
rubber banding and coins.
Uneventful mission.
The
It's
classic
okay.
one.
We can't curse it. It's pre-recorded.
we can use the line as much as we want. It'll be fine.
I hope this car can take it.
I think in my first go around, I got like my first revision. I got like 25 points and spent the entire mission with hit and run, and I just got really unlucky when I tried it again. That bend was ridiculous. I don't know how I got that.
Yeah, wow.
It didn't look like it made contact.
It's like a little awkward hitbox extension.
Like
Like
it
on
was a
your back
mistake.
tire is what got it.
It was a mistake, and then I went to load my save state, and I saw the coins come up. I accidentally loaded them anyway, but there's an undo load option, so I undid the loaded save state. That was a mistake.
Oh
That
no.
wasn't meant to happen. Oh, this mission. Oh, this is one of the reasons I wanted to premiere this live.
You got it.
Oh,
This
man.
is by far the most busted thing. I would say this is TAS only, as in no one would ever think of doing this in a run. On any FPS, on any platform. Possible RTA, but not viable in any run. It's beautiful.
Oh. Alrighty then.
First of all, there's a high chance of spinning around endlessly, and this isn't even the part that took me the longest. This part took a ridiculously long amount of time because it just doesn't want to turn.
This is too cool for school. Damn automatic transmission.
Getting him to not turn right out of that is a mission, but oh, I love watching
Wow.
Clone. Oh, it's beautiful. Out of bounds could not exist, but it does.
Time for some road rage. Bart Simpson style.
You did mention that there was like you did mention to me that there was gonna be like an Bart 2 out of bounds strat
Yep.
in this that
Yep.
we had not seen before, but
Yep.
here it
That was
is.
it. Also, I was able to save like 5 seconds in this mission because I didn't have to do the normal strats. I already got all the 6-2, all the Kalo and 6-2. This one isn't as interesting, but it definitely is cool to watch.
Bart Simpson at your
It.
service.
I'm just gonna let it roll.
I'll educate you a new one.
Take that! I just know I'm gonna be blamed for this.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That definitely would have been a lot faster if I hit his like front rear and not get the half. But yeah, it was hard. It was such a
Wow.
good strat. I love that. That would actually be free RTA if Globex didn't wheelie up after going up the hump. What makes the strat next to impossible to do. Because half the time you just go over Skinner. And this is, I think it's like normal one cycle set skill. There's nothing really special about this.
Careful, I bruise easily.
How I didn't get that as a freebie, I'll never understand. Because I got like 3 wasps in a row that just wouldn't work as freebies. And like, I've only gotten 1 wasp. Why isn't this working? Like, part 2 has 2 slots, not 1. Every single one of them I'd hit at the bottom of the cycle and it wouldn't die. And it's like, I don't understand. That's still a mystery to me as to why neither of the duff wasps all that work. This mission is inexplicably 5 seconds slower than PC, and I don't know why to this day. I cannot figure out where I'm losing 5 seconds.
Right. Off for Bart. Oh man, this sucks.
Part of me wants to say it would be like FPS boost, but like that doesn't really matter much in Globex.
Yeah, like there's maybe one after the log thing, but it's not 5 seconds.
Oh, this is too cool for school.
I don't lose 5 seconds here. The driving's not perfect, sure, but it's not 5 seconds slower than like liquid. But I entered the mission with 5 seconds leeway without the box, and you usually get like 10 seconds of that, only 5 seconds with it. And when I tried to get the box I got the box in my first position, so I had better coins because I was doing the main menu walk route. I kept failing, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, what have I done?
Give it up for
Yeah, I'm sure you can see why that was
boy.
by far my favorite mission. I loved making it. Now this part, you know how when with like the resets and the turning around, you use the audio cue? I didn't have an audio cue because audio's cursed on 20%, and I still think it was close to 25%.
Crashing time.
That said, it was slower than in my console world record. I don't understand.
To be
I
fair,
don't.
1 round set to kill is a little slower than fast set to kill.
Time for some road rage. Bart
I
Simpson
mean,
style.
I
It just
assume
saves the
I
time
did that
back
as
with the
well, but I
auto.
was comparing it.
Wait a minute. That was an insult.
Like, I don't understand. Console world record has 1 round. Bacon, can you tell me where I lost 5 seconds? Because I don't understand. Everything felt fast. Yeah, that reset with the audio cue, I didn't actually have the audio cue.
What's up with that?
No, I was looking at my world record.
Don't have a cow.
I mean, as in that's where I was talking about with it being like floating with. Yeah, I don't understand where I lost. I don't understand where I lost all that time.
Might have just been like console lag, I guess.
But it was faster on
Here's-
Bacon's console run.
Huh.
And yeah, it's slowing down with the splits, but there's also in-game timers that you can use, like the global time to go around. Well, not global time at the time. You only have 1 time the whole time. It's weird. I don't know why it was so slow because yeah, they were like I felt like there were maybe a second potential optimizations, not 5. This took me longer than I would think. That wasp just didn't feel like dying for like 20 times, and then I ended up getting like that. I'm like, it works. Move on, move on, move on. I was so happy to get out of it.
Let's see. I need something to board up the window. I know. Board.
This Homer 2 is a perfect example of I asked a bunch of people for routing advice, and then I was like, well, that sounds good, but no. And it actually worked for this one.
Hey, come back here. Them's our sleeping on boards. Guess I'll have to use a hop for a pillow now. Learn to drop.
Oh,
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I felt like this went quite well. Definitely potential improvements, but nothing too much.
You definitely put a lot of time into working on this. That's
Oh, it
yeah.
ruined my life. No, it was a nice way to de-stress from runs when I didn't have to do Lisa.
Another one.
I think I took like a week break because Lisa was just making me so angry because I had 2 crashes of Dolphin during 3-7. Not after 3-7, so I didn't lose much time working on that BS. I lost like 20 minutes of phone booth attempt. But I lost all the manipulation for 3-5. The 3-3 was really difficult because low FPS. 3-2 getting a
Hey,
4-star
get it.
spawn. I had to do that twice over, and I was like, I was going to just release the old version, which was 25 seconds slower because I was so annoyed. But I didn't expect to be able to release it today. I thought it was going to take another 2 weeks, so I was like, let's get some revisions going. I progressed faster than I thought. I finished it, and then a couple of things I had on today just got cancelled. And I'm like, whoa, I can wait. I can release this today. Let's go.
And I can
That's
kill
why I
Gravity
only gave a
today.
day's
So
notice.
hey.
So I said, I'm really happy with how this went.
Oh, I swallowed my gum.
I was thinking about trying to fix it after that collision, and then I realized that for this I have to like slow down a little bit anyway. Can't really full speed because I'll lose the alien car. It was monk ass.
Yeah, that bar was just empty. Wow.
To be fair, I've had it empty for longer on the highway in 5-4. That was in a tournament race. I remember watching it back and hearing Quimby and Green laughing at me. That was funny.
The power plant, but I'm bored of this level. I am the
This was interesting to do.
Mm.
There wouldn't be a problem with this if it wasn't for the fact that there is no change camera button. And certain things happen when you go very, very fast in third person. Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
that took me 15 minutes. I was having to do like the tapping adjustments blind.
boy. Talk about
This is where the thank you but no with routing advice comes in.
sweet. Eat my dust.
It's like a relatively standard
Can you
Homer
come and
2,
get me?
where a
I'll pay
relatively
you
standard
back,
Homer
bro.
2 does not belong.
Fire control.
I'm really glad of how quick I was able to do this. There was just like no time to line that up.
Oh, out of
Wow.
control.
It was just hit it, turn, go. Like hit the wall, start an e-brake boost, turn, go. As soon as I was facing it, let go of the e-brake boost, send it. As fast as I possibly could because of that. And yeah, it was really fast.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It was
It
really
turns
hard
out
to tell
you're
when I
right.
hit the load
Without
trigger
the speed of a
because
jump
you
boss,
take
I
so
missed
long
the
to load
majesty
in.
of a level boss.
It's not like PC when you know because it just loads instantly. I don't know if this is faster, but that running
Chest pain.
line definitely.
Having chest pain. In your face.
I thought about doing an airwalk here. Are the tools for making TAS runs improving? Not really, it's just Dolphin Emulator. There was nothing used in this except save states,
Let go that
frame
flag.
advance, and slowdown. That's all I used. They don't even have a rewind, unfortunately. So you kind of have to hope you make a save state every 10 to 15 seconds.
Let's roll.
This is what I was advised against doing, is low FPS, but I just figured if I just held E-brake here for like 2 seconds, I would fly off the wall fast enough that it wouldn't really matter.
And what do you
And
know?
it
It
didn't end
worked.
up mattering. Worked. What would you know? Yes, strat. I didn't fail a strat in my TAS.
Sweet. Oh man, my car is gone, and the ashtray was full of pennies. Piece of cake. Okay.
Yeah, the slowdown is so bad that, and if my TAS was actually just played back at the right speed, it would have been done 15 seconds ago.
I'm a lean, mean.
Like, I hope everyone knows the active timing for the TAS with correct frame count and no lag is, I think it's a 125.19. So this is a large amount slower due to bad playback and just lag on the replay.
Well, I wish I had a dog with
Because any frame drops aren't frame drops, they're slowdown because of how emulator works.
will be mine.
Yeah, no bridge flip.
Should be a felony.
I think people would probably expect bridge flip in the 60 FPS, but no, I did this instead.
I am excelente.
That took me a while.
Oh, I
Dang.
know.
Driving right with jump zone is quite difficult, even in a TAS. Then I had to do this all over again, just when I thought I was done
Oh
with
man.
it.
When this is over, I'm hitting the zone.
You have no idea how many times I made it through and then missed the beam.
Sayonara.
Dang.
Oh, and if you think we're done with driving blind,
Let's make this
that wasn't the worst.
Ooh, the vibrations tickling my
Oh
feet.
boy.
I had to do this bullshit.
Blind
Third
driving,
time.
my favorite.
Eat my dust. Back in my day, we called sandwiches flat Freddy.
This was by far the worst one because you could just go ludicrously far. I did that to try to gain some semblance of where I was, just to time the braking. That's what that look back was. I probably could have just looked back and used the visual cue, but I decided not to do that.
I almost spilled my sundae.
Yeah, just full accelerate and then triple brake.
Wow.
You would never go on that full run. And then besides that, and the 3 minutes lost to emulator lag, there it is. Completion. I don't actually know what the time is because I don't know when we stop timing. The cues that I use on PC don't exist on console. I can't tell when it changes over. So I picked the middle of it to end the time. Very cool to finally see full game pass. It really is. I'm so happy with how this went. I'm happy with it getting completed.
For sure, yeah.
It was wonderful. I left the recording goes all the way until the credits. Yeah, 126 Alien Autopsy Part 3. With the loading time and the loading time for the mission.
Wow.
So it would have like matched community best on PC, but you know, you'd expect that. Even if I didn't have to go blind, I got to do it over and over again at half speed, but you all don't get to do.
That really happened? I thought it was a bad dream after eating too many
Yeah, I
raw
left
hot
the
dogs.
end cutscene in because funny
Golly,
cutscene.
you're the town hero.
It's a
Sweet.
classic.
And the
You
ninja
kinda had
babysiters?
to.
Is that real or a hot dog dream?
Hot dog dream.
Hot dog dream.
Dad, the fans want you outside.
Fans?
A 9:39 real time. That's pretty cool.
Oh, those fans.
Dang.
With coins.
Yeah, but that's like, what, 10
Yeah.
seconds?
Yeah. So like 9:30. With
At
what?
least our show was a success. Why did we go to Earth Heaven when we
Console
died?
modes, no less.
At least we don't have to sit
Yeah.
through the stupid video game credits.
I love that
And the
line.
emulator slowdowns.
Yeah. I don't, did I get any? I don't think I got any in. I can always just retry them if I can get every part. Anyway, I think the video ends like now. Or it's like the first few lines of credits. I don't go through the credits.
There we
There we
go.
go. Well, I'm quite happy to be able to show that off with everyone. It's taken a while, and I'm glad to actually have done something cool. Nice to do something unique. Anyway, not really sure what there is to talk over unless you have any questions about it. Or if anyone in the chat has any questions about it. I will take that as a no. Well, I guess we're good to end whenever you'd like, because I'm done here. I've got nothing else to say on it except maybe other tasks in the future. I might do all tasks, I might do hundo, probably won't. A lot of different things I might do, but I don't know yet. All doorbells, definitely though, the important one. Has to happen. But
Yes.
besides that,
The most
yeah, so.
prestigious category, right?
Yes, it's prestigious because I almost got sub 20, but you know, it's terrible category. I didn't get it, but you know. Besides that, I've got nothing else to say.